Untitled-2 podcast. My name is Connor.
And mine is Ash.
And we're going to talk to you through your ear holes.
That's usually where people hear from, so... This episode is about Halloween.
Halloween!
Not the movie Halloween.
No.
Although we will be talking about that.
Will we?
It's a Halloween movie.
Is it a good Halloween movie?
It's okay.
Then we won't talk about it. Is it a shit Halloween movie?
It's okay.
If you say it's shit, then we'll talk about it. That's the whole point. Because I don't like horror movies.
I can't work like this.
Like what?
You're just shouting at me all the time. No, I mean...
You're going to die of crochet.
If we only limit ourselves to talking about good movies that release on Halloween or horror movies, then there's nothing to talk about. Might as well just end the podcast here.
We're not going to talk to you about Halloween. We're going to talk to you about horror movies because it's Halloween soon.
It's a Halloween-themed episode, and if you've made it past this verbal diarrhea...
Yeah. Congratulations. You win.
Horror movies, because it's Halloween.
Yes.
Soon.
Yes.
Whenever this goes up.
Yes.
Like a few days later.
Yes.
And...
Yes.
I mean, we could talk about video games, but...
We probably will.
Video games.
I don't want to talk about any specific horror game or any specific horror movie. I want to talk about the genre and why it fucking sucks. Both movies and video games.
It sucks 'cause it's not scary.
And then we'll talk about it for a bit because we just saw that yesterday.
No spoilers.
Okay, maybe we'll talk about it then.
0.5 episode. I've already got 0.5 episode planned, haven't we? The game.
Yeah.
Maybe we can tack the it bit on the end of it.
Maybe. I'll tack the game on it.
So why do horror movies suck?
Because
currently?
They don't care about the story. They go, oh, I'm going to make a horror movie to scare people, and it doesn't fucking work.
Oh, I'm going to have this camera angle where you can see more of the background than the actual character. Nothing's going to happen in the background, so don't pay attention. But something does happen in the background.
Mm-hmm. Or there'll be this low bassy rumble that you're not supposed to notice, but you do.
Like the kind of rumble
like fucking Paranormal Activity.
Yeah. No, yeah, that happened a lot. They just stick to the formula too much.
Yeah, I want a horror story that's got a cool story.
Yeah.
And is scary, like puts you on the edge.
I want to watch Babadook. Like, people said that was...
I've seen it. It's, it was actually a good horror film. So I'm surprised that you brought that up already so soon, just to fucking go against everything I'm saying. But I enjoyed it. It wasn't scary. It was quite interesting though. There was a lot of tension building. Like it put you on the edge of your seat a little bit, and you were like, "Oh, what's going to happen?" And then you see the Babadook, and it's hilarious. It just completely obliterates all the tension.
Do you remember what was it called, Mama?
Yeah, that was really good until you could see her.
Yeah, there was a legitimately creepy moment where the woman, is it Jessica Chastain?
I don't know. That was a long time ago.
She goes upstairs and she's putting stuff away in like a little wardrobe thing or a chest of drawers. And then she's like made tea for everyone, well, for the two girls, and made dinner for them. And she's all like, so and so, go downstairs, dinner's ready or something. And then the two kids shout from upstairs, and there's this, what we thought was the kid in the corner with a blanket over it. It just stands the fuck up and shifts straight in the closet.
Yeah.
It's so creepy.
Yeah.
But then obviously halfway through, it's all like, oh, this is her in full CG glory.
Yeah, and
it just fucking sucked.
Yeah. What you were saying earlier about the camera always being positioned so that whatever creepy shit's going to happen in the background takes centre stage. But why? If it's creepy shit that's happening in the background, you're supposed to only just see it, just catch it in the corner of your eye and be like, shit, what the fuck was that? That's where fears come from, fear of the unknown.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're just going to stick it in centre screen, then what's unknown about it? What's scary?
Yeah. Is it like the reason why... what's his name? Michael Summit in Halloween, where he wears that porcelain white mask because you can't see his face, and it's scary when you can't see a person's face. Well, camera angles, right? You can always tell when they're setting up a shot to like as a jump scare.
Yeah.
They'll go to a fucking mirror. They'll open it like one of those mirror things with all the tablets in it. They'll open it and they'll close it, and someone will be stood there behind them that wasn't there before.
Yeah.
1,000 times I've seen that. Insidious had a shot where
fucking
was it Insidious? It was a movie, right? And like the camera started to like pan in a circle in the center of a room, and I was all like, it's gonna pan second time, and something's gonna be in a corner that wasn't there before.
Yeah, exactly.
And lo and behold, something was there.
People thought Insidious and Insidious 2 were absolutely the pinnacle of scary movie, and they were just ridiculous.
Like,
just a joke.
Scariest movie of the year. And
yeah.
There was stories going around how people fainted and stuff like that, and like
what was scary about it? What are people managing to take seriously about those fucking ridiculous films?
It's fucking, I don't know, mate. Like, it wasn't even a coherent movie. I can't remember. Like, his son could. What was it, like, astral project during his sleep?
Yeah.
And he got fucking taken into the fucking demon's lair, and now we've all got to go. Well, only one of us has to go in there and save him, and oh no, the father got stuck behind, and the fucking weird woman that's been following him since childhood has taken over his body.
Yeah.
It was shit.
He sounded like Hank then, from, what was it, King of the Hill?
Oh, I've never watched it.
Just the way you went, border.
It's too American. Propane accessories.
Yeah. I never watched it either, just know what his voice sounds like.
So yeah, Insidious was shit. And they made a second one. Have they made a third one? Or I don't fucking...
I feel like they have.
Honestly, don't really
or
care.
they are going to.
And then there was Annabelle, that was, again, like the scariest movie ever.
Yeah, that wasn't either. There's just something so ridiculous about it. It's just so hard to take serious.
Annabelle's a sequel, innit? Like, well, or the prequel to it. When I forgot what it was called. But like, it was supposed to be the most scariest thing ever. And it was about the doll that came alive and shit. And right at the end, her mother gets possessed, and she's like trying to kill the whole family, and it's like, if you're a kid, it's scary as shit. And then she gets rescued, and she's no longer possessed, and then they just all run over to her and cuddle her. I'm like, if you fucking try to kill me 5 minutes ago, I am not cuddling you for a fucking year just to be safe.
Yeah.
It was just, the shift in tone was way too abrupt. It was like, kill, 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 happy.
Yeah.
Fucking...
They just... I really want a horror film that... I don't care about it being scary. Like, what makes a good horror film is tension. Like, putting you in that state where you feel kind of vulnerable. Like, not actually making you scared. And the cheapest way to make someone go, ah, is to just make something pop up on screen. Yeah. And they're even bad at doing that now, because they...
No, yeah, it's just quiet, 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 loud.
Yeah.
Over.
It's... And half the time you can see it's going to happen because they'll wait too long for it.
Yeah.
They'll be like, ooh, nothing's happening. Look, nothing's happening.
It's not like... There's no... I mean, at least I haven't watched a lot of old horror movies, but since I've been a fan of horror, which is a weird thing to say because I am a fan of the horror genre, but I don't think anyone's done it right since I've been a fan of it. And it's always... There's no, like, one good movie where it's always consistently good. There's always, like, a scene out of a movie that was really good. Yeah. Like Haunting in Connecticut, where there's that scene where he's like, all the dead bodies, you know, the ghosts of the dead bodies that was in the morgue, like they all woke up or something like that, and they were like just surrounded him in the dark, and he just stood there like with his eyes closed, trying to like, you know, remain calm. Like that was genuinely creepy.
Yeah, that was cool.
But then the whole movie just sucked.
I think Mama is the closest horror films ever got to me saying that was a good horror film, but then they ruined it, obviously. So
I won't say that for me. It was just that one scene where she was like putting the clothes away and she's holding the tea's ready. That was the only thing that in that movie that was like, wow, that was genuinely creepy. Like they just rely too much on formula.
It's really unrelatable as well that in every horror film everything is dingy. Yeah. Like everything. They'll be like, oh, we've just moved to this new house. Why? There's mold on the walls. Why did you move there, you fucking dumb prick?
If I'm watching a horror movie, right, and the first scene is a large white family moving into a creepy old house, I'll just turn it off, man. Yeah. I skipped the whole first season of American Horror Story because that was basically I saw
some bits of that because sometimes we'd go in your living room and your mum would be watching it and we'd see some scenes and it was just the most ridiculous shit.
A white family moves into a really old house and it's haunted.
Yeah. I enjoyed season 2 of American Horror Story, but it wasn't scary.
No,
it was just kind of cool, some of the concepts they fucked with.
I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed season 1. And
What you saw of it.
Yeah, I've only seen season 2. I've not seen any of the others.
Yeah.
But
Actually, I tried to watch Hotel, but that was just so ridiculous. It was like it didn't care about story. It didn't care about being scary. It was just doing uncomfortable shit on screen.
Yeah.
Like there was a bit where this guy that was in a full skin-colored like BDSM suit.
Yeah.
Had like a, I can't remember. There was something weird about the fake dick that it had, like it was a drill or something. And he bent Spock over on the bed and butt fucked him until he was screaming and crying, and then eventually started to like it, and he was like, "I love you."
Ha. That's weird.
Like what? I just thought that was ridiculous.
Yeah. Season 2 was convoluted. I enjoyed it, but it was convoluted.
Yeah.
Like, they had aliens.
Whoa.
They had zombies. They had fucking Nazi scientists.
Mm-hmm.
They had demons and possessions.
Yeah.
And you're just like, fuck off, mate. Pick one.
Yeah. Should have been called American Horror Stories.
Yeah. I do really like the whole theme that they do, though. Like, well, not the theme, their gimmick. Like every season's a new story, and they've all switched up roles and stuff like that. That's really clever.
Same actors. It's like a play group.
Yeah, I really like that. But yeah, I'm not a fan of it. There's been a few seasons. There was like fucking Edgy Hogwarts.
Yeah. Carnival.
Carnival. Is the newest one's like based on serial killers or something? I don't know.
I thought the newest one was Carnival.
No, that finished.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember.
No, the newest one is based on the Trump-Hillary election. Yeah, and it's how crazy people would go over that kind of thing. It's like a Black Mirror type. Speaking of Black Mirror, there's a new season of Black Mirror soon. Oh, I love Black Mirror. That's got to be my favorite TV show.
Yeah,
just because it explores things that I'm just super interested in.
Well, yeah, because I'd say that's actually a pretty good example of not all horror, but
yeah, there are some
it's
things
very
explored.
horror themed because it's like it explores where we're going as a human race
and how that could go horribly wrong
and how fucked up we can be.
Yeah,
like is it there's an episode in season 1 where that woman's husband dies in a car crash, and her friends are like, "There's this really cool service where you can." Basically, it's like an AI that like scans everything he's ever put online and stuff like that, and it ends up writing like he is, so it's like she can text him again.
Yeah,
and it just evolves into like now he's got a voice, you can talk to him,
and now he lives in your attic. And your daughter can visit.
They send out a little fucking fuck doll for her that can walk and talk like him and looks like him, and she ends up getting really creeped out by it, so she just keeps it in the attic by the end, the loft.
Yeah, that was a really good one. I'm so excited for another season of that.
Yeah.
There was that first episode of the latest season as well where everything was just based around social media and everybody could rate
basically Facebook likes were currency.
Yeah.
The more the higher rating you got, the more like...
Well, it was kind of like Uber, more like Uber. Like you get a rating, but not just for driving people around, for everything you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was that guy, like at the start in the office, he just broke up with somebody and everybody picked a side in the breakup. And he just got shafted, so everyone was disliking him just to show support to the other person, and his life just was ruined. And he turned into like a beggar, just going around the office trying to do nice deeds for people to try and get like an up thumb and stuff. And then the main character, didn't know what was going on, so she was like, "Oh, that was nice. I'll vote him up," and everyone noticed, and they were like looking down on her and voting her down and stuff. Yeah, crazy.
But like you want for more than just like approval of your peers and stuff. Like, she wanted to get a house, but her rating wasn't high enough. And it just sent her fucking crazy. I loved the ending of that where she got sent to that jail, and there was that guy opposite her who's obviously probably gone through the exact same thing, and they just had that verbal fucking death match going on where they were just insulting each other and screaming and shit.
And then they started loving it because they could just be...
Yeah, and they were fucking, it was like they could breathe, they were human again. It was fucking amazing. I love the writing on that show.
It's just incredible.
I love the first episode of the first season was where English Prime Minister had to fuck that pig.
Yeah, and then there was that controversy like a year later.
Yeah,
with
Cameron
and the pig.
Yeah.
Cameron and Miss Piggy.
Yeah, everyone went to interview him, and he's like, I didn't fucking know, mate. It was just a story. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, no jump scares, you know. I think the only one I've seen jump scares on it is where that guy went to for a job at a video game company. It was like a VR thing.
Yeah.
And it was like the game adapts to what you find scary.
Yeah.
And ended up frying his brain.
That was true.
I honestly thought that guy, because he was Japanese as well, I thought it was like a take on Hideo Kojima.
Yeah,
he had glasses, weird glasses like Kojima as well. Maybe it was him. So yeah, they don't rely on formula. And they're not afraid to like show the weird stuff and like the more depraved things. Like in the latest season, they had one where that guy got recorded jacking off the child porn.
Yeah, and they made him do some really weird shit, and then it ended up a death match.
Yeah, and they made him jump through a shit ton of fucking hoops.
Yeah.
And they're all like, if you by the end of it, if you do everything we say, we won't release it. And they fucking did anyway.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And he had to kill a man to get his freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's just really, really well written show.
Yeah.
I suppose it kind of fits the theme of the podcast, but either way, I wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like we should do a podcast just about Black Mirror.
When the new season starts.
Yeah.
We'll binge it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to think this whole time of like good horror movie examples where I come away with it thinking, yeah, I could probably watch that again.
Well, me too. I can't think of any horror movies. Well, I don't hate all horror movies. There are horror movies I've enjoyed, but then I wouldn't actually call them horror movies. Or there are horror movies I've enjoyed, but for another reason. Like Paranormal Activity, like the first two of them, I really, really love those films. But I don't think they're good films. I think they're just really fun to watch.
Yeah, maybe the first one.
I liked. Was it the second one where?
It was her sister's family that got.
And there was that guy, and they had a dog, and they just had a bigger house, and there was that. Was it that one where there was that scene where just the kitchen exploded and all the doors flew open? Yeah. I just think it's just really entertaining.
If it were just the first two movies, it'd have been a pretty good franchise, mate. But like
the third one was so weird, didn't? Wasn't there like witches and shit in it?
Or something now.
Oh, I don't know. If there is a fourth one, I haven't seen it, but I watched the third one with you, and it just killed it for me because it wasn't entertaining, but also it was way more ridiculous than it had to be.
First two movies, right, were okay. Second one was a bit boring compared to the first one. I think the only part about the second one I liked is where they go down to this basement. And it's pitch black in there, and there's obviously the woman's possessed or something. That was a bit creepy, but that was it. The rest of it was shit. But like by the time the third movie rolls around, you know all the jump scare tactics. Fucking doors are gonna fly open, you know, things are gonna move. Low rumble, fucking play. People gonna get dragged out of bed, you know, fucking same shit. That Autopsy of Jane Doe.
I haven't seen that. Is that horror?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's horror themed. Yeah.
Okay.
It didn't scare me, so I don't know what to classify it as.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I think it is intended to be a horror.
Maybe we shouldn't base our idea of a horror film on whether it scares us or not, because I think we're just too rational to be scared.
That's the whole fuck. It's in the name. It's supposed to strike horror within your fucking fibre of your being.
But then I would still class Stranger Things as a horror. And I think that is fantastic. It's one of the best TV shows that was ever made. But they focused on story. I think that's the thing about it. They didn't focus on trying to make it scary. They focused on it being a horror story. And that's what makes it good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one. But like, I don't want to be one of those guys like, I value story above everything. It's got to be a nice balance of the two.
Yeah.
Of like the story and then the scares.
Well, the story has to be good, but then if the cinematography is no good, then it doesn't matter how good the story is, it's just going to fall flat. And then, on top of that, if it's calling itself a horror film and it doesn't at least build a bit of tension, then, you know.
Yeah.
What that film that we watched last time you were here? Would you class that as a horror?
What was it?
I can't. I didn't see what it was called because you put it on before I even sat down. There was like a woman stirring a teacup.
Oh, Get Out.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. I think it is considered.
I think that was a really good film.
Yeah,
That was a horror film that I enjoyed. It's more thriller though, and that's. I think
they blur across a lot. You can't have a horror without a thriller aspect,
Yeah.
and you can't have a thriller without a horror aspect.
I definitely prefer a film that's a thriller to what's classed solely as a horror.
Yeah, I really liked that. I can't even explain why I like it because it's the twist that I like.
Yeah,
Because it presents itself as this way, but it's actually a different way.
yeah. No, I was
And I
really
enjoyed
good.
that. Yeah, I guess that's a horror. But anyway, the Autopsy of Jane Doe is really, I won't say really good, but I think that's the latest horror movie apart from Get Out that I've watched, and I quite liked it.
Mm-hmm. We don't watch horror movies as much as we used to do,
Because it ends up being shit.
yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know, there's better things to do than.
Yeah, I asked my parents, like, because they watched it first, and I was like, what's that Autopsy of Jane Doe like? And they was like, oh, it's fucking shit, stay away from it, it's not even worth it.
And that to you was a flag to watch it.
Yes, and my parents have the worst taste in movies. Yeah. So yeah, I watched it, and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you two? It's amazing, it's pretty, well, not amazing, but it was pretty good. Like, things weren't too scary. That's because, I don't know, I think maybe just were hard to scare.
Yeah.
But it was a very intriguing story. The concept was brilliant. Plus, dead boobies. What's that movie we watched? The really awful zombie movie. And like the first scene was...
MILFs versus Zombies.
Yes.
That was such a bad film.
So shit.
It wasn't even like Neil Breen type of bad where you could just really enjoy it. Because
It
like
was
halfway
like-
through you were just like, can it just end?
It was like somehow a 12-year-old kid found a camera and somehow had like a monopoly over how these adults are acting in movies. But there was that scene where this naked girl was getting eaten or something, and the guy went for a piss in the woods, saw her and was like, dead titties! And I was like, he didn't immediately go, oh my fucking god, let's bail. He just, first thing he saw was dead titties.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking hell.
That's not a horror film though, that was meant to be a joke.
It's horrifying in how bad the fucking quality is. But yeah, Autopsy of Jane Doe is pretty cool. I'd definitely recommend watching that.
Oh, yeah, I will. I should keep a bit of, like a notepad or something, so every time you say, oh, you should watch that in a podcast, I've got a list of all the things that I need to watch.
I won't say like old horror movies are particularly scary either.
No.
I don't know what it is. I think they need to stop focusing on supernatural horror and more like on very human,
Psychological horror.
psychological horrors. Yeah.
I think that's what people want nowadays is relatable cinema. Something more down to earth.
I just want smart cinema. I don't want to be told by the director that this is scary, you're supposed to scream because, the whole loud, not quite loud thing sets it up for you.
Yeah.
It's like laugh tracks in comedies. I don't want to be told when to laugh.
Yeah. You just want to laugh because it's funny.
They need to trust us that we're smart enough to know when to do things.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually there's just going to have like a rolling bit of text at the bottom like, scream now, laugh now.
Applause.
So yeah.
Eat popcorn.
I just want them to realise that we are capable of figuring shit out for ourselves. We know when something's scary. Let's be the judge. Don't fucking cue the fucking audio tracks. I also think that's the biggest tool that directors have in horror movies. It's the soundtrack. If you take any horror movie and replace it with like a major scale happy chords and shit, it ruins the whole fucking vibe.
Yeah. It's
all about the soundtrack, I think, and I don't think. I'm trying to think of a good soundtrack example, but I don't think they nail it most of the time. And that's what really sets it up, because a horror experience isn't just what you see on screen; it's how you feel, and it's the psychology of the scene that's been set up. It's the sound, it's everything.
Yeah.
I think they should incorporate more sub frequencies, and everyone should have a surround sound system as well with a subwoofer, because sub frequencies have been proven to trigger certain parts of the brain.
Yeah, causes like stress and anxiety.
That's probably why they overuse that fucking low rumble.
Yeah.
But if,
But I suppose it probably worked at first. It like built tension, but then as soon as you notice it, you know what's coming.
That's like the only part
shoots
of the
itself
movie
in the
that
foot.
has a soundtrack. Isn't that one? It's just the low rumble.
I just thought of a horror film that I really, really like. It's been made 3 times. The first one I've never seen. The second one I saw with my mum when I was younger, and I thought that was awesome. Like, it actually creeped me out as well.
And the new one's got Chloe Grace Moretz in it. It's very good. Grace, fucking Grace.
It is very good. I still enjoyed that. I went to the cinema with my mum to see it, and she was like hiding behind her hands the whole time, and I was just like, "This is awesome."
I've not seen the original. I saw the new one. Didn't like it.
Oh, I really like Carrie. When I saw the first one with my mum, not the second one, but we'll pretend the actual first one doesn't exist because I've never seen it. There's a scene at the end where she's like stood outside this house that burnt down or something, or somebody is, and a hand comes out of the floor and grabs her by the ankle, which is a bit of a cliche nowadays. But, because of that, when I actually went to bed, I was like running across the floor to jump on my bed so I could get grabbed by the ankles.
That's funny.
But yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't think it's a scary film. But I just really like it as a concept. Like this God-fearing girl whose mother is so scared of her growing up that she don't even understand what's going on with her own body. Yeah. Like, first time she has a period, she doesn't know that it's going to happen, and she's in the showers at school screaming and crying because there's blood coming out of her, going down her legs and filling the shower, and she doesn't know why. All the girls are laughing at her, and she's like screaming, "Help me, please help me, somebody help me, I don't know what's happening." And it's all because her mum just didn't want to tell her it was going to happen.
Yeah, because she's that fucking level of Christian where she's super, like, oppressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I like that. Was it Julianne Moore that they chose for the mother? That was really weird.
Yeah, I think so.
We mentioned in another episode The Shining. That's a good horror movie, as far as horror movies go.
Yeah, I don't think it's scary, but I think it is a good horror film.
It probably would have been back in the day, I reckon. If I was old enough that I'd watched it back in 1980.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a bit scary.
I'm sure it was very suspenseful and shit. It Follows. Did you watch that?
No, what's that?
It's basically a whole fucking... The whole movie is a euphemism for fucking STDs, basically. There's this weird monster thing, right? That takes a shape of a random human, and it just slowly walks towards you, right? And when it gets to you, it fucking kills you. And you can avoid it by putting as much distance as you can between yourself and it. So you can go the other side of the fucking planet, and like 6 months later, it'll probably catch up and be just walking down the street towards you, right?
This sounds awesome.
It was pretty good, right? But you can also completely get rid of it by passing it on to someone else, by having sex with them.
What?
So if someone gives you it and it starts following you, just drive a few hours, have sex with the nearest person that's willing, obviously, don't rape people, and then it's fucking their problem then. But what it does is if you have sex with that person and it kills them a day later, it goes back to you.
Okay.
And there was some pretty creepy moments where you couldn't tell if it was a random person just going about the daily business in the background, walking along, or if it was a fucking creepy as shit monster trying to kill you.
Wow.
That had a really good soundtrack. It was a very 80s kind of like synthy vibe to it, like Stranger Things. I wouldn't say I was scared at any point, but it was a pretty good watch.
That sounds good.
You should watch it. You should write it down and you should watch it.
Okay.
Saw's a horror movie. The Conjuring, that's what I was talking about earlier, I think.
Yeah, The Conjuring was awful.
That's with a doll in it. Saw is a horror movie.
Saw, I never liked Saw.
It's not scary. I think it's scary for people who are have a weak stomach and they don't like gore.
Yeah, but then just making people uncomfortable with gore isn't a good premise for an entire film.
Nah, it's the cheapest way to get a scream.
I don't really like that kind of... is it called Grindhouse?
I think so, yeah.
Horror, where there's just a guy with a chainsaw or a knife or something and just follows 6 people around. And do you remember we watched that one that my mum told us it was absolutely terrifying? Was it Wolf Creek?
Yeah.
And it was just not scary at
And
all.
the Oz is all like, you ever heard of a head on a stick? And he like
Yeah.
stabs her in the spine and severs it, so she's literally just a head on a stick.
Is that the one where there was a scene in a garage and this guy got a chainsaw, he's coming at a girl who's sat at the back of the garage like screaming, and he goes to hit her with the chainsaw, and her best defense was to put her hand up and have her fingers cut off.
Yeah, that was awful.
Stupid. When I was writing down It Follows, you said Conjuring, so I put It Following. It Follows.
Blair Witch Project, that's a horror movie.
No, it's a horror
That started the whole found
footage trend, yeah.
Yeah.
Tell you what I thought was a good found footage thing back in the day. Marble Hornets on YouTube.
Marble Hornets. There was that YouTube channel that re-uploaded everything called Marble Hauntes.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
It was based on Slender Man, which was like a creepypasta.
Yeah, and it wasn't super popular back then.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a big meme then.
Added to how, like, you know, pretty cool how cool it was. And then it's suddenly like a fucking game came out, and then everyone's talking about Slender Man. And...
Yeah, and it just wasn't the same anymore. But before Slender Man was this big joke.
Yeah.
There was some really creepy scenes, and they did a good job with the cinematography in that. Like, they didn't point the camera where the Slender Man was going to appear. Like, he'd just be talking to the camera, and then in a doorway, Slender Man would just be there. And it was the creepiest shit. There was one where he was just filming in a house, and the lights were off, but there was like a street light outside, and you could see Slender Man moving across the window.
Yeah, it was like his porch light or something like that.
Yeah, that was really creepy.
Best part about I can't remember what episode it was, but the guy who originally started filming everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
We finally catch up with him, and his girlfriend's found his camera, and she's recording, thinking it's all super cute, and he's all like obviously uncomfortable at it, and he's all like trying to stop it, you know, get to stop doing it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then she turns to put it away and faces a corridor, and Slender Man's just right there in the corridor. And then everything starts screaming, it all gets glitchy and stuff like that, and then we don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, and like the guy got really lax with uploads as well. It was like 3 months before we found out what happened next, kind of thing.
I watched them all. Like, I made a point of only watching them in the middle of the night when it's super dark, all lights off and whatnot. So the only thing I could see was a bright screen in front of me. I couldn't see what was behind it. And stuff, and it just added to the whole creepiness.
There was because I used to watch them at night in my dad's old house. And that episode I told you about, I think it was like episode 6 when Slender Man's going past the window above the door. My dad had that exact same window above his door at the end of the corridor. So I'd like just finished watching that, and then he needed a piss, which was the other end of the corridor near the front door. I was just like watching that window the whole time. Yeah. Like just irrationally, just hoping I don't see Slender Man there.
Another movie that a lot of people liked, and I, for the life of me, cannot figure out why, because it was a fucking shambles throughout the whole thing. The Cabin in the Woods.
There was one bit in that film which was cool, which you've already mentioned on another podcast, is when I think they're in an elevator and the door's open and there's like every supernatural creature you could think of just beating the fuck out of each other. It's just
fucking bedlam.
Yeah, that was cool. Other than that, I don't think it was any good.
No, it was alright. Shambles.
It was a shame as well because they had some good actors in it.
Yeah. Everyone loved it and was like, oh yeah. Yeah. Best horror movie ever. I think it's like they tried to make a satire of the whole horror genre in general, but they ended up just making a stupid, goofy as fuck movie. I didn't like it. It wasn't scary, you know.
Do you know what the best horror I've ever seen is?
What?
Scooby-Doo the movie. I'm joking. Just the Cabin in the Woods reminded me of Scooby-Doo for some reason.
Jaws was a horror movie.
I haven't seen Jaws. I don't really have an intention. I think it's past its time for me to actually enjoy it.
You should probably watch it, because with the way things are going now, with the remake of Jeepers Creepers, they're gonna make a remake of Jaws. You can guarantee it.
Was it a horror?
Yeah.
I don't know if
it was a 1975 horror. So as far as horror went in the 70s.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch The Descent?
Yeah, I watched it with you. That had some good, like, edge of your seat moments.
Yeah.
It's still fairly goofy.
Goofy.
Didn't they make a second one that was just no good?
I don't know. I thought it was really cool, like, because obviously people have been trapped down in those caves for a long time, and they've obviously been breeding down there.
Yeah.
Like, going back, like, maybe 100, 200 years or something, and they've, like, turned into these fucking pale as fuck, blind, like, cannibalistic thingies.
Like the things from Oblivion. Not Oblivion, Elder Scrolls. What were they called?
Skyrim, the Falmer.
Yeah, the Falmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a cool concept, and it was nice that there was actually a story.
I liked the scenes where, because they were going spelunking.
You mean really claustrophobic scenes?
Yeah, where
they're
they were
trying to
crawling.
scrabble through a really tight space. Yeah, that was really...
Those were really good.
That built tension, that's what I'd like to see in horror films.
If you've got a fear of drowning, right, then you should watch a movie, I think it's by James Cameron. It's called Sanctum. That had a really claustrophobic vibe to it.
I think I watched that with you, but I don't remember any of it. We were probably talking over it, like we do.
Maybe.
Stop playing with my feet.
Sorry, there's only enough room for one tall guy under this table. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say Sanctum's a horror movie.
It's just a film to make you tense.
Yeah, I don't know if it did that well. It's a bit weird for... If it was James Cameron, it's very weird for him to come off like Avatar with that.
Is that what he made the submarine for?
I don't know. So here's a movie that's technically a horror that I really like. 28 Days Later.
I don't like it.
Why not?
I don't get why you like it so much.
I like it. They're not zombies, right? So and it pisses me off when people are like, "Oh, that's a good zombie movie." I'm like, "They're not even dead, you fucker." Like, shut up. George A. Romero would be turning in his grave. he'd be reanimating himself just to come and fuck you up for saying that. R.I.P. George A. Romero.
That happened recently, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's a shame.
And I really liked him. I don't know, I just like it. Personally.
Yeah, you really liked him personally. It was a good laugh at the pub.
Yeah. Me and George A. Romero were fucking friends, mate. No, I liked what he did for the zombie.
I like how you crossed your fingers.
Like, they could see.
You were like, we were fucking... And then you were like, wait, no, they can't see this.
Friends. Yeah, I liked what he did for the whole zombie, scene. Because up until then, it was like a laughable thing.
Yeah.
They walked around going, brains. And then
that's why we had that, like, 6 month long stint where we only watched zombie movies because it was laughable.
Yeah. Best zombie movie ever. Forgot what it was called. I just realised as I said that.
Are you talking about the one where he starts using a weapon?
A weapon?
There's a policeman zombie.
Land of the Dead, not that one.
Okay.
No, the Chinese one we watched.
Oh, with Crazy Bee in it.
With Crazy Bee in it.
Oh, what was it called?
I don't know, but it was basically a Chinese version of Dawn of the Dead where they're in a mall.
Yeah.
But there's a fucking awesome character in it called Crazy Bee.
It's just a like gangster asshole.
I don't think they're gangsters. They're more like delinquents.
Well, yeah, but he thought of himself as a gangster, so he like acted hard and.
Yeah, the whole thing started off because someone was working on like some sort of fucking probably chemical weapon or something and hid it in a Lucozade bottle, and then someone drank it.
Yeah,
that was a brilliant movie. I loved that.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's not a good movie, but it was very enjoyable.
It was a good experience.
Good experience.
Yeah.
I don't know why you don't like 28 Days Later. I don't like 28 Weeks.
I don't know why I don't like it either. I just don't find it that entertaining.
Again, John Murphy. I love it's called In the House in a Heartbeat or something like that.
What's that?
It's the very melancholic song that plays through the background.
Oh.
That dum 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 dum, and it gets higher and higher and higher, and then more instruments come into it.
Yeah.
That really like set the tone, the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And also, I just like Cillian Murphy. He's a cool actor.
He is a really good actor.
And also,
pardon me,
Christopher Eccles cake's in it.
I don't like him either.
You don't like Eccles cake?
No.
He represents the North, mate. Leave him alone.
He knows nothing of the North.
All right, we'll move off 28 Days Later. I won't talk about Texas Chainsaw Massacre because,
like I just said, I don't like them.
It is overrated. We'll talk about it in the 0.5 episode.
Well, I think we can touch on it, what we'd liked and what we didn't like.
Okay, fair enough. You go first.
So, I was hoping it would be this phenomenal thing. Kind of like how Iron Man redefined superhero films, and now 10 years later, superhero films are the genre of this generation type of thing.
Yeah.
So I was hoping it would be this, because everybody's been watching it, everybody's been giving it raving reviews about how awesome it is, and I was hoping it would really be that awesome, and we'd end up with this new genre that'll rule another generation, and it would just be awesome horror films. Because I do want to like horror. I want there to be a shit ton of good horror films that I can just enjoy the hell out of. But no. And one thing that made me really think it would be good is the fact that Finn Wolfhard, isn't it, from Stranger Things?
Yeah, boy.
That guy is really funny in real life. He's just a cool guy. He's a really good actor. In Stranger Things, he's awesome. And he's actually really good in it as well. He's this like comic relief character.
Yeah.
But it's just really funny. He swears all the time. Tells his mates he's gonna fuck their mum, and
and the mothers.
And he was the last one who got his fear discovered as well. Everybody else was freaking out about all these fears. Because the thing about it is that it preys on your worst fears. Yeah. It feeds on fear, kind of thing.
And the girl was scared of like puberty.
Yeah.
The only black kid.
Yeah, the token black guy was scared of.
Black kid was scared of burning to death, and then it just comes to Finn Wolfhard's character, which I think was called Richie.
Yeah, and they're like, "What are you scared of?"
And he's just like clown. It's like, "Oh, mate, you are fucked."
Yeah, but it was good because he was the last one to get to have any interaction with it.
Yeah.
Everybody was like freaking out about the fears and saying, "Oh, you've seen it too, you've seen it," and Finn's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And they have that thing in the garage where they're looking through slides, and then the slide machine starts moving on its own, and then it is in one of the slides, and that's the first time Finn sees it, and he's like, "What the fuck is that?" Yeah, that was just really, really.
He was the true hero in that movie.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I've seen the actor that played the main character before. The guy with the stutter.
Yeah.
But I feel like he was probably in like an indie film with Daniel Radcliffe or something. But I didn't like him. I feel like they could have had it. Child actors are hard to find, though. I understand that. So
I didn't judge it as a horror movie. I judged it more as like an adventure movie for
I feel like
kids that just happen to have horror elements. And as a movie like that, then it is pretty good. If I have to judge it purely as a horror movie, it'd fail miserably.
I don't think it was scary. I think it was cool.
It had some good visual effects.
Like that Modigliani painting that came to life and tormented that Jewish kid. And that was really cool. And one of them had a fear of germs, so he was being followed around by a guy with leprosy, and
like just spewing all sorts of like pus at him and stuff.
No, I think it was a really cool film, but I don't think it lived up to my expectations. But that's not a fault of the film; it's a fault of the people around me telling me it was fantastic. And
to be clear, it's not a bad movie.
No, I don't think it's a bad movie.
I'll probably watch it again.
Yeah, I want to watch it
times. But it didn't scare me. And if I had to judge it purely as a horror movie, it won't be very good.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's better as an adventure movie that has horror themes.
Yeah,
I'd probably give it like an 8 out of 10 for that.
Mm-hmm.
As a horror movie, it'd probably get like just a straight up 5. Average.
It had some incredible scenes, like when the guy with the stutter goes into the basement, and Pennywise, the dancing clown, is puppeting a kid.
Brother.
Yeah, his brother. And his brother's just going, "You'll float too! You'll float too!" And getting, like, his voice changes every time he says it. And,
like, increasingly more, like, distorted. And his face rots and everything.
Yeah, and like I said, tension in the scene is just building and building, and then Pennywise just slams him into the water. Yeah,
it's very... the visual effects are probably what make it as... drive the horror parts.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good movie.
I had a fun time watching it.
Preferred it over the 1990s version.
I haven't seen the original. I kept meaning to, and then I heard the new one was coming out, and I was like, I'll just watch it.
It don't hold up. I watched it like when I was a kid. I don't know why I was watching horror movies as a kid, but I often did. I watched Dawn of the Dead when I was a kid, you know, the George A. Romero one.
Mm-hmm.
That fucking shit me up something rotten.
I have a story about the first time I was like violently terrified of something. If you'd like.
I'm interested.
So just before we go, did you know Carrie was a Stephen King book as well?
What?
Carrie.
Oh, no.
And me neither. I found that out the other day, and I was like, no way. Anyway, yeah, the first time I was absolutely shit scared out. There's no way to even phrase it. I'm struggling with the sentence, but how terrified I was, there is no words for. I was like 6, and I had a TV in my room, and I couldn't sleep for whatever reason. I don't know. I was 6. I don't really remember very well, but I put this thing on TV that was like a cartoon.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cartoons at this time of night, excellent. And I think I've since managed to find it and watch it, and it's got very adult humor. So like now that I'm older, I can understand it. I'm like, yeah, I can see how that would have been funny in like early 2000s kind of way. Basically, there was this guy that was in prison, and he was going mentally insane. And he became best friends with a space hopper. You know what that is? It's like a yoga ball with ears that you... and it had a face on it. So I don't remember the specifics. I'd have to watch it again. But this space hopper was like a murderer.
Okay.
And it had a knife.
How was it holding the knife?
I don't remember. But I imagine now, thinking back, it was probably to represent that the guy was a murderer and he had an imaginary friend who was passing off the murders to.
Okay.
So this imaginary friend and him went on this big murder rampage, like super gory, like stabbing people, and this must have been the first time my mind ever ventured into that world. Wow. Like ever realized like the mortality of people and that you can just be murdered like that and how much blood there is and everything, and I was just completely freaking out. It must have been the will to not go to bed that kept me watching it for a while until I just couldn't watch it anymore and I turned it off. It took me a very long time to get to sleep after that. But I just remember having nightmares, nightmare after nightmare after nightmare, and every time I'd wake up and in that nightmare I was being murdered by this space hopper, this bright orange space hopper with a smiley face on it. And I remember waking up in the morning, like the last time I woke up, and I was like, okay, I can't sleep anymore. I was on the floor. Somehow I'd ended up on the floor, and I had a bunk bed, but there was no bottom bunk. Yeah. Because there was like a swinging chair under there or something, and a desk space. So I'd somehow fallen off the top bunk onto the floor because I was moving around and freaking out so much when I was this little kid. And I was just covered in cold sweat, and I'd never felt so ill and so terrified.
Like when you first take a hit on a joint.
I've never felt like that since. And I don't know, like to me it seems silly now, but I can't imagine how horrified I must have been. And then to just go to school the next day and try to explain to people what happened, like what I went through, and not even be able to understand why.
Yeah, I've never been that terrified of anything.
That is the most terrified I've ever been in my life. I don't think I've been anywhere near that terrified ever since.
Every time I've been scared, it's lasted for like a few hours, and that's it. I've got over it.
Yeah.
And then when I've repeated the movie or something like that, it's no longer taking an effect of me. Mm-hmm. So I've never been that terrified, man. It sounds awful.
Well, I was super young, like way too young to be like introduced to violence like that.
I don't know. I've always really liked, I've never been scared long enough, but like the whole idea of scaring people and being scared.
Yeah.
I've always been fascinated with it. And so when my cousins slept over and stuff like that, I'd wait until they fell asleep and I'd just fucking play games with them all night, just fucking terrifying them. Made one of my cousins who had asthma, made him like break down and crying, almost had an asthma attack because I was fucking freaking him out so much.
You psycho.
It was funny. John Carpenter's The Thing.
I haven't seen that. I feel like I should have. I hear it's good. Isn't it based on a Marvel comic? Oh no, that's
Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's it came out in 82, and then they made a remake a few years ago. I want to say like maybe 2010 or something. But it's about a group of scientists, researchers in Antarctica. They find this like old, like creature thing in the ice, and it turns out it's like an alien or something like that, and it's like body horror.
Yeah.
Where like your body morphs into something disgusting, like some sort of creature, and like tears up and all that shit. But I wonder, for anyone who really enjoys old movies and stuff, I'd probably recommend watching the original for them. But I think for you should watch the remake.
Was it a remake?
Yeah, came out a few years ago. Mary Elizabeth Winstead in it, and it was a pretty faithful adaptation to it, remake.
Oh, cool.
It's pretty good, so you should write that down. The Thing.
Don't know why I'm writing it on a whiteboard, but
yeah.
I just remembered something that I wanted to watch with you and my girlfriend. I saw this clip from a film where it looks like a really low budget, like Neil Breen level of film.
Yeah.
There's this kid, and I don't know, it looks like he's got some kind of shotgun strapped to his back or something. And it goes into this, I guess it's kind of a bar or a shop or something. And I can't remember specifics, so I'm probably going to butcher the representation of the scene, but he asks for a drink from this guy, and he's like, "Oh, you want to try Nilbog milk or something?" And it's really creepy, and it sort of in the scene insinuates that everybody loves this Nilbog milk, and it's doing something crazy to the people, and he's like acting really crazy, but it's done in such a goofy way that I reckon we could watch that and have like The Room type experience watching it.
Yeah.
And so I googled just a transcription of the scene to see if I could figure out what film it is, and I think it's Troll Hunters 2.
Okay.
So we should watch that because I think that's going to be hilarious.
Okay. Yeah, we should.
I'll see if I can find the scene and show you the scene
should
first
we-
to see if you want to see it. But
Should we watch the first one beforehand? No, just jump into the second one. Fuck it.
well, because there's every chance that the first one's a good film.
So I really like weird movies.
Yeah.
Like I've established. I recently saw a weird movie called Raw, which is a French movie. About,
Oh yeah, you told me about this. Yeah.
about a girl who goes to a veterinary university thing.
Mhm.
And she's like, her whole family's a diehard vegetarian.
Mhm.
And as she gets there, they've got to do this initiation thing, right, to be part of the group, basically.
Wait, like a social group, or to just for the course, or something she has to do?
Well, the students have all got this group, right?
Okay.
It's not part of the course,
All right. Okay.
but like, it's like tradition. You know how like when we left school, everyone came in and like
lobbed eggs at shit
lobbed eggs at people,
Yeah.
signed T-shirts, and just bullied the younger
Yeah,
kids. So it's kind of like that. And what they had to do was eat like a pickled rabbit's liver or something like that. And obviously at first she was like, I'm vegetarian and I can't do it. But then her sister pressures her into it.
Okay.
And I think that starts off.
But her whole family are vegetarian.
Yeah.
Including her sister.
Including,
But her sister makes her do it.
well, her sister is older than her.
Oh, so she's already.
She's already been at the veterinarian, so she's done it, and she's obviously a meat eater now or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, sister pressures into it, and then it kind of kicks off her obsession with eating raw meat,
Okay.
and it gets kind of creepy in places. The French really enjoy filming intimate scenes and stuff, so there's like this really cool scene, like crazy scene where her older sister finds out that she'd never had a bikini wax, Brazil wax thing.
Mm-hmm.
So she's giving her a Brazil wax fucking
Brazilian.
shit, Brazilian. And like she gets the wax stuck on a bush, and so she runs to get the scissors, and she comes back, and she's pulling at it to cut it, and her sister just like fucking kicks her leg out, by instinct, And then she looks up, and her older sister has just got a finger chopped off, and she fucking blood's just pouring out, and she faints. And then when the older sister wakes back up, the younger sister's just eating what's left of her finger.
Oh, what the fuck?
And the weird thing is as well, where it starts to get really weird and there's something going on, is after they go to hospital and
What? There's not something going on when she's eating her finger.
Oh yeah, it's weird, right? But you would have thought as soon as that girl comes out of hospital, and because her parents are there, she'd be like, she fucking ate my finger. She ate my finger. But she didn't say anything.
Okay.
And it was really weird.
Yeah.
And then it goes on from there. And I'm like, I won't spoil it.
Okay.
Like, that was I didn't want to spoil that bit for you, but like, it was a cool scene. I wanted to explain it to people. And I remember watching that, and I was pleasantly surprised by how much I liked it. It was really weird and,
Yeah.
kind of creepy in places. I also watched a movie a few months ago. I think it's called Dead Girl or something like that. These two
sounds kind of familiar.
These two teenagers, kind of down and outs in school, go in this old what are they called, sanatoriums or something like that.
Where they keep dead bodies.
No, where they keep deranged people.
Oh yes, sanatorium, yeah, of course. Yeah.
And it's all been abandoned, and then they're just exploring, drinking beer and smoking, and then they go down in the basement, and there's this girl tied to a table, and like they don't know if she's dead or not. So one of the kid prods her, and she starts moving, and it turns out like the other kid has run off or something. But there's one of them who's like, you can tell he's a bit of a psychopath in the making. He stays behind and stuff, and he finds out that she's not alive, she's dead, but she's like a zombie or something like that.
Right.
And then they just do some proper depraved shit to her, like, fuck her and all that shit. And it gets weirder and weirder. And that was a really weird movie, and I quite enjoyed that. Probably won't watch it again. But I enjoyed where it was going and how weird it was and stuff.
Yeah.
I really like weird movies, mate.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun to watch something that's really weird and makes you just go, the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I watched a Serbian film, and that was fucking weird.
I haven't seen that, and I probably won't.
I mean, everyone's got to watch it. These ones is so fucking just fucked. Anyway,
the thing I don't get about it, right, is everybody says, "Oh, it's fucked, it's ridiculous and everything," but it's still like prosthetics and shit in it.
Yeah.
People act like it's this guy that actually went out and filmed all this shit, but it's obviously not realistic.
No, it's not all. It's not even a found footage sort of thing. It's a legit movie.
Then what? Why would
this guy called Milo, who was like a very notorious porn actor or something like that?
Yeah,
and he gets roped into doing some really fucking depraved shit.
Yeah.
Basically, all of the most disgusting, like, taboo fetishes are in that. But yeah, it's fucking. I'll never watch it again, but I'm glad that I watched it because it's fucking weird. And I'm fucked, and
something to talk about.
Yeah, I think everyone should explore some sort of fucking morbid curiosity that they get.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times can you say that you've seen stuff like that? How many people can say that? Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that would shy away from that.
Yeah. Like, I didn't watch it because I'm fucking sick and perverted, and I got off in it. Like, I watched it because everyone was like, "Oh, it's the fucking most depraved movie ever," and
morbid curiosity.
Morbid curiosity. I went to see if it was, and
yeah.
I mean, it was pretty bad, but it wasn't the bad thing, the worst thing I could think of. I can think of much worse things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Wreck.
Yeah, that's a. I actually really enjoy Wreck. I think that's probably one of my favourite zombie films.
Yeah,
it's a really good horror film.
The Spanish version. Well, the original is.
No, Wreck is the Spanish version.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I've never seen the original.
Yes, you have. You watched it with me. The American version, which sucks so much ass, is called
I remember
Contagion.
We were watching it on a laptop, and I think we were talking over it.
Yeah.
It's called Quarantine, the American one.
Yeah.
And it's got...
Quarantine is awful.
Forgot a fucking name.
Wreck is really good, though. There's the original Spanish one.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
Oh, well, we definitely watched it together.
Yeah, we talked about it.
It's basically this reporter she's doing a documentary on firefighters, and she goes with them on a call to this building which ends up getting quarantined, but she gets stuck in there with all these other people, and they're just basically making their way through this apartment block with some new discovery about zombies to make in every room, and it's just really cool. It's really confined. It's not like, oh, worry about the world because the world is getting eaten by zombies. It's worry about these people that are stuck in a apartment full of zombies.
In the Spanish one, did they get forcefully quarantined inside the building? Because I think they did in the American version.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean by they get trapped.
Right.
I don't know what happens to the firemen. I don't remember the firemen being in there, but I know there's a reporter and her cameraman.
Because that's how it starts in the quarantine. Like she's doing a documentary or something like that about the firemen. She goes on one of what's supposed to be like a regular fucking call, and then they go in the building and they get trapped inside there. Well,
Wreck is a really low budget film, but it does a fantastic job of compensating for that. Whereas Quarantine is high budget and thinks just because it's high budget it can be a good film, but it's not.
Hellraiser.
I've never seen Hellraiser.
I don't know what the common take on it is, but I found it to be pretty boring. Like it's just about, it's kind of like a grindhouse thing, like how much shocking body morphing horror shit can we throw in a movie?
Right.
Like this guy finds a box and he's obsessed with pain, because it's his sexual pleasure. And he opens the box and he ends up basically like Pinhead motherfucker and all his weird, devil guys or demon guys show up and I think they end up fucking just torturing him to death and ripping him piece from piece and all that shit.
Right.
And I think he ends up turning this big goo pile and he ends up reforming his body. So it's fucking weird. I probably wouldn't recommend it. It's not a great movie.
No, it doesn't sound that good.
Shaun of the Dead is on this list for some reason. That's not
it's not a horror. It is a great film though.
Comedy is a very great film. It's a comedy with horror themes.
So this film that we desperately want to watch, Baby Driver.
Yes.
I heard that Baby Driver is the same director as the Cornetto trilogy. Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and
the 3 Cornetto thing. Yeah.
So, I don't know where I heard that or if it's even true, but if it is, then that changes my idea of what kind of film it's going to be.
How is it? Look at her face. That's not like a face of horror. It's a face of
ooh, what just went in my bum?
Yeah, exactly.
What is that film?
Hush. 2016.
I've never heard of it.
Remember that. Wicker Man. Not the bees.
I haven't seen that.
Is that the one? Is that the one? It is the one, right?
Yeah, it's from Wicker Man. That.
No, I've seen the original. It was very hippie because it's the 70s.
If you wanna, is that film a joke? Is it like satire or something?
I don't think the first one, the original one, was. Maybe the Nicolas. Do you know what? Right, the one with Nicolas Cage probably wasn't meant to be satire, but Nicolas Cage is a fucking terrible actor. I don't care.
Nicolas Cage is satire.
I don't care how memey he gets, how many fucking people can meme the shit out of him. Right, he's a fucking terrible actor.
Yeah.
His new neo fucking wave, or was it neo noir or whatever he's called? His own brand of acting. It's overacting. It'll always be overacting. You can call it what the fuck he wants. He's a shit actor. So he's probably ruined that.
Yeah, maybe. I haven't seen it, so.
Did you watch Don't Breathe?
I did. I told you to watch it. Is that the one with the blind guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I told you to watch it just because it was weird. Just because it started off with this home invasion, and it was
I don't think I watched it immediately after you told me. I think I watched it off my own accord. So
I watched it when I lived in the student halls with Candice.
Right.
It was.
It came out last year.
Yeah.
Were you in the student halls with Candice last year? I thought you was living in an apartment last year.
Yeah, but I moved in September.
Right. Okay.
So. Yeah. I was definitely in the halls anyway. I remember that because somebody who lived there told me to watch it, and I was like, okay. But yeah, it started off with this home invasion, and they were trying to defend themselves from this blind guy who turned out to be crazy good at defending himself.
They were the ones that invaded the home.
Yeah,
just to clarify.
Yeah, it was his home.
Yeah.
They were going to rob him because he's blind. Rob him blind.
Twist. Because usually the person that gets the house invaded is the one that's getting tortured and stuff.
Yeah.
But the people that invaded the house ended up getting...
Massively regret it.
Yeah.
And then they go into his basement and they find some shit, but I won't spoil it in case people want to watch it.
Don't Breathe... Was it Sam Raimi? Is it? No, it was Fede Alvarez.
I don't think Sam Raimi was in that.
Because there's a scene in it that's very Raimi-ish. You know how he fucking... Raimi's got a fucking hard-on for weird bodily fluids and shit.
Yeah.
Always entering people's mouths.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
shit.
I know what you mean.
There's a scene and I was like, that's gotta be Raimi. Fucking...
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. That was weird.
The Ring. Have you seen that?
No, actually, no. No, I haven't, no.
Sorry, a long time ago when I was a kid. It's just, why did I watch so much shit when I was a kid? So much horror. It was legitimately quite terrifying. But I think Japanese horror's on a completely different level than ours.
Yeah.
They can do some really weird shit.
Oh, is it originally Japanese?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Did they remake it recently? Or did they just make a new one?
I don't think they ever stopped. It's been a new one like every 5 years or something stupid.
Right. So is the original one really shit quality then, if it's Japanese cinema?
I think it was Japanese cinema.
I seem to remember that it was a Japanese story. Like the well girl is based on some Japanese mythology or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen it, so. Didn't you have a game?
I do have a game. Do you want to play that game?
I want to play that game. Should we play the game intro?
We shall play the game intro. Cue it up.
So, for your idea for this game was you've got a list.
I do have a list.
Of...
Just a random list from list25.com.
Okay.
Not a plug.
So, how many?
There's 25, but I'll just... I don't know if I'll do 25. I'll just pick them out.
Okay. So, basically... Well, it works 2-hour formula if you pick 10. And I've got to get 5.
Okay, I'll pick 10.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so... 10. Don't know why.
I'll just go down the list then,
So
if that's the thing.
Yeah. 10.
Get 5 to win.
Yeah, I get 5 to win because that's half. And then...
I think this might be quite hard, so I might review that score at the end.
Well, actually, why don't we just do all 25?
Okay,
And then we can talk about them after, and then we'll just see how many I got. And then if I'll let you decide whether I won or not.
Okay. Are you ready to start?
Yeah. No, wait, we didn't explain what it is.
Okay, yeah. It's a list of strange phobias.
Yeah.
25 of them. So he's got a base. I've got to tell him the name of the phobia, and he's got to kind of guess.
Yeah.
To make it,
what it is
easier, because I reckon these are gonna. Because obviously, phobias are always named how you think they would be.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe like you want to ask me like a yes or no type question.
What if I have? Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. I'll do a yes or no.
Like, how many questions do you reckon it is fair to give you? Like 3? 3 questions per phobia?
Yeah, okay, that sounds good.
Okay, so first one. Ablutophobia?
Ablutophobia?
Yeah.
Is it a fear of, what was it, Eiffel
65, something like that?
Something like that?
Yeah.
Is it a fear of that?
No, it's not, obviously.
That's I'm blue dabba dee dabbaphobia.
A phobia of dabbing. Dabbophobia.
Ablutophobia?
Yes.
Is it a fear of something organic?
I don't know, answer this one. Yes, in a way.
Is it a fear of a creature?
No. Alright, I'll tell you what, right? I'll give you a very... It's a fear of doing a certain act. Just narrow it down.
Okay, is it a fear of blowing?
No.
I don't know.
It's the fear of taking a bath or cleaning yourself.
What?
And I might use that next time I forgot to take a shower for a few weeks.
I've got ablutophobia.
Ergophobia. Ergophobia.
Ergophobia.
Yeah.
Is it a fear of ergonomics?
Probably should read it first.
Is it a fear of people who go, ergo, you're a dick?
No.
Okay. So it's not a fear of ergonomics.
No.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What's ergonomics?
You seriously?
Is it going to help me if I know what ergonomics is?
No.
Okay.
Not really.
Ergophobia. I don't know. I don't even know
I'll
what
give
to
you
ask.
a clue. You might need an ergonomic chair, like somewhere. Where would you need an ergonomic chair? You're spending a lot of hours there.
Is it a fear of airplanes?
No, not airplanes.
Is it a fear of work?
Yes,
Ah,
I'll give that to you because these are a bit ridiculous.
okay. Next.
Nomophobia.
Is it a fear of gnomes?
No.
Nomophobia?
Yeah,
I feel like I've heard of this.
N-O-M-O phobia.
Nomophobia. Nomophobia.
Yeah.
Uh,
Do you want a visual clue?
yeah. Is it a fear of flashing lights?
No.
Fear of strobing lights?
No.
Is it a fear of phones?
Sort of.
Is it fear of, like, you know, people are scared of getting radiation from using telephones?
Yeah.
Is it that?
No.
Then I'll be damned if I know. I've asked you three
It's
questions, so.
the fear of not having service on your phone.
What? Because there's no more service.
According to research in the UK, a whopping 50% of people have it. Third world, we apologise.
That makes sense, like, because we're so used to being connected to people that
Yeah.
if you have no way to get in touch with somebody, then you would be scared that something bad's going to happen and you've got no way of...
Okay. Philophobia.
Philophobia?
Yeah.
Is it a fear of... Because philo is you love something in it, so is it a fear of loving things?
It is a fear of loving things.
What?
Fear of falling in love.
No, okay. Why do... Every now and then a whiteboard pen just won't work. It'll just make this waxy streak and that's it.
Yeah. I think because you were going over one line over and over again.
No, but the first one didn't work.
Somnophobia.
Well, insomnia is the inability to sleep, so somnophobia is a fear of sleeping?
It is. Well done.
I know a bit of
You'd be
Latin
scared
apparently.
of sleeping.
I don't know. Maybe all kids have somnophobia.
Fucking in it.
Yes.
Okay, heliophobia.
Is it a fear of helium?
No.
Helia.
Heliophobia.
Helio.
Yeah.
Helioptile. It's a Pokemon.
Fuck off, you Pokemon. Heliophobia.
I feel like helio isn't a word that I know.
Yeah.
Helio. Maybe if I say it in different ways, I'll just get it.
Okay.
Helio. Oh gosh, Helio. I don't know. Clue?
Galileo.
Galileo.
What is Galileo's famous thing? Why did people shun him? What did he say about our solar system?
Oh, is it a fear that
It's not a fear of what he said, but it features a thing that he...
Is it fear of the sun?
It is.
Okay.
You can have
I
that.
won't have that.
No.
I won't give myself that. You gave it to me.
I know, but I feel like this is a shit fucking game.
What, you making a weird face? What's going on?
Is this fucking image?
What?
Alright, let me just cover my hand there.
What the fuck is that?
Alright, you won't be able to get it from that.
I won't get it from that, so it's not fear of your hair turning into a hand.
It's spelled like chaetophobia. CHAETO phobia. It's not a chaetophobia or chaetophobia.
Well, like chiropractic.
Kind of, yeah, it's spelled like that, but it's not the same thing.
Chiro. Chaetophobia is when you are scared of being puppeted by your own hair.
No.
What the fuck?
There's probably a phobia, to be honest. Fucking hell.
Well, I don't know, that picture of the guy whose hair's turning into a hand above his head.
Yeah.
There's no clues in that picture.
Not really, no.
What? Is it a fear of... I don't know. I'm trying too hard to get something from that picture and I just...
Yeah, I know you are.
Is it a fear of
Just-
things above you?
No, it's not.
Can I have a clue?
Our friend Max probably has it.
A fear of authority?
No.
I don't know. A
It's
fear-
right. It's to do with what you saw.
It
but
is.
not. Yeah, but not like. I don't know why that.
Oh,
image-
fear of going bald?
Yes.
Oh, right, okay.
I know, right? How did you get going bald from that image? Why did they choose that?
I don't know. It's like heavily photoshopped as well.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, fuck these words, man.
Does it not have like a pronunciation?
Fuck this phobia as well. Arachibutyrophobia.
Arachibutyrophobia?
Yeah.
Is it a fear of beautiful
Arachis.
spiders? Arachis!
No.
Am I going to get this?
Not from that fucking name, no. I'll give you a clue. It was a key ingredient to something that we've recently eaten.
What did we recently eat? Eggs.
No.
Pizza?
Nice. No.
That we've recently eaten?
Yeah.
Chocolate?
Not chocolate.
Peanut butter?
It is the fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth.
I won't give myself a point because I only got as far as peanut butter and then you gave me it.
Yeah. Haphiphobia.
Haphiphobia.
Haphe phobia.
Haphiphobia. Clue?
I've got it.
You've got it.
Yeah.
Well, it's not trypophobia.
It's not trypophobia, it's the other one.
You have another fear.
Yeah. Another thing that makes me like shudder and puts me in a lot of discomfort. It's a very popular one.
Physical contact.
It's the fear of being touched, yes.
Okay, cool. I don't say you'd have a fear of it. It just makes you
No.
angry.
Yeah, I don't like it. It makes me feel suffocated.
Yeah.
Oikophobia.
Oik. Oikophobia.
Yeah.
Oik. What could oik? How is it spelled?
O-I-K-O.
What?
Oikophobia.
Is it a fear of incomplete pig noises?
No. Would you like a clue?
Yes.
You wouldn't be able to go into your kitchen.
Okay, is it a fear of the washing machine? Is it a fear of the sink?
A bit broader.
Is it a fear of the kitchen?
It's not a fear of the kitchen. You're on something with.
Is it fear of cooking?
Not the cooking.
Is it fear of washing?
You were closer with the washing machine.
Is it a fear of dirty clothes?
No.
Is it a fear of appliances?
Yes.
Okay.
You can have that because these are ridiculous.
Okay.
The fuck does oika come from? Like,
I don't.
Probably
This
some
isn't a
weird shit.
game anymore. Like,
okay.
well, I'm interested in trying to guess these, so I don't care if I win or
Choleraphobia,
not.
we know that one.
Choleraphobia.
Yeah.
Fear of poopies.
No.
I don't remember what it is.
Clowns.
Oh right, okay.
Ibophobia.
Is it a fear of ibuprofen? Or ibuprofen?
It's the
or
fear
however
of
you say it.
palindromes.
Huh.
How can
I
you...
still want to guess them. Stop telling me them.
Okay.
But still, that's
All right.
How can you be scared of a palindrome?
Neophobia.
Is it a fear of the Matrix?
Well, yes, it is. No. I'll give you a clue.
Neo is new in it.
Yes,
Is it a fear of new things?
it is the fear of
Change.
new things.
Okay.
Hylophobia.
What?
Hylophobia.
Hylophobia.
Yeah.
Is it a fear of being higher or lower?
It is not.
How is it spelled?
Hylo.
Oh, okay. Hylo. I don't know why I think repeating the word makes it easy,
Hylo.
I guess.
Yeah.
Clue?
Clue. So you know how is it Hylia in Zelda? Isn't it Hylia or something like that?
Yeah.
It has a lot of them.
What?
It has a lot of them in Hylia.
Okay. It's Hylia.
Hylia?
Yeah, it's pronounced Hylia.
Okay.
Like, yeah, because they're Hylian.
Yeah.
And Hyrule is the... Anyway.
If you can walk through a particular one of them, and you get lost in the fog.
Oh, it's a fair forest. Oh,
It's
trees?
fear of wood and forests, yeah.
Wooden forest as opposed to metal
Wood
forest.
and forest. Hippopotamonstrous squidaliophobia.
Fear of long words.
It cuts it off.
It's a good job you knew it, innit?
A way to optimise the fucking website for a mobile phone, guys.
I bet it was amped as well. Because there's that thing where when you do a Google search, if it's got a little lightning bolt, it means it's optimized for mobile, so you can view it like super fast.
Yeah. Decidophobia.
I knew this. Decidophobia. It's not a fear of 12-sided objects.
No.
Is it a fear of decisions?
Yes.
It is.
Yeah, it's probably decidophobia.
Okay. Well, it's a good job you mispronounced it.
Yeah. Gephyrophobia.
I might have a fear of decisions, you know.
Yeah.
Gephyrophobia?
Yeah, you're not gonna get it from that fucking thing.
Okay. Clue?
If you fall out with a friend, you'd probably burn it.
Bridge.
Yes.
Fear of bridges.
Yes.
How did I get that?
Descendophobia.
Is it the fear of descending?
Walking downstairs or inclines.
What?
Tripophobia.
I've come up them now, I'm not going down. Yeah, your least favourite thing,
A
tripophobia.
nice picture as well, guys. Luposoplis. Fear of werewolves, mate. Fuck off. I'm not pronouncing that.
What? Let me see the name, I want to try and say it.
Okay.
Oh, slow ass website. Lupuslipophobia. Lupuslipophobia.
Lupuslipophobia.
Lupus, slip me a phobia.
Chronophobia.
Fear of time.
Fear of time passing.
Fear of passing.
Alright, hang on.
What? Is this another ridiculous picture?
No, it's the name.
I think it's phagophobia. It's
oh,
Phag.
Yeah, but phagophobia.
Fear something phage.
It gets better, mate.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's a heliophage? It's from something, isn't it?
It is. Anyway, you want to guess this?
Wait, what's phagophobia? Phagophobia?
That's what I'm saying, do you want to guess it?
Oh, yeah, I do want to guess it. I was trying to, that's why I asked you what a heliophage is.
I don't know what heliophage. I forgot. I don't know where it's from. I'll give you a clue. You'd probably die of
Cancer.
no of dehydration because of this, because of the fear.
Fear of drinking?
Nope.
Well, then what else could dehydrate you? Fear of
You could
being
also die of
moist?
starvation
Oh,
because of it.
fear of swallowing.
Yes. But you die of dehydration
Wait,
first.
that's phagophobia.
Yeah, phagophobia.
Fear
Fear
of swallowing. Oh,
My
Christ.
girlfriend's got phagophobia. What?
What?
Okay. Omphalophobia.
Omphalophobia.
Yeah.
Is it fear of ominous phallic objects?
No.
Is it close?
It is. Something phallic shaped is attached to it originally.
Originally?
Yeah.
Is it fear of circumcision?
No.
What? Is it fear of...
It has to be removed shortly after birth.
Is it fear of umbilical cords?
It's not a fear of the cord, it's a fear of what it was attached to and gets turned into.
Belly buttons?
Yes.
Ah.
Panphobia.
Fear of Pan's Labyrinth.
No, what does the word pan mean? Like, if I say I was pansexual, what would...
I have no idea what pansexual is.
Oh, okay.
Is it... I don't know. I feel like now we've made it a thing about sex, I can't really make guesses.
If you were like the world's biggest coward, what would you be afraid of?
Fear?
Okay, but not fear.
Everything?
Yes.
It's a fear of everything.
Panphobia is a fear of everything.
Oh,
Pan
yeah,
is like
pan is...
all.
Yeah. Okay.
Like panacea. Or was it Pangea? In panacea, the cure for all cures, and then Pangea was what the one continent of Earth was called before it split.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I didn't realise it was
Phobophobia.
because of that. Is it fear of fear?
It's the fear of phobias. I was gonna make a Phobos joke.
Oh.
That's the fear of phobias. The fear of phobias.
I guess the clown in it had a fear of fear. He seemed to have a fear of crowds, didn't
He had a fear of
groups.
people not being scared of him.
he? Well, that's yeah, because
I made the joke
No,
that
but-
he had a fear of crowds because he was like
every time they were
every
alone,
time he was about to
he'd
do
scurry
something
away.
like killing them, and then like a group of three came around the corner, he'd just like be like, oh well, just back off.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was I knew that because they don't fucking name phobias how you'd expect them, so I knew that game wouldn't turn out very well. I would say well done for the ones you did guess though.
Yeah.
Like even with a bit of help, they were fucking stupid.
Yeah, you'd have to know Latin to get them.
Probably. But then some of them are named how you expect, like phobophobia,
Yeah.
panphobia, stuff like
But
that.
then it's all Latin. Like
Yeah.
phobia is Latin.
And then chronophobia.
Yeah, Chronos is time.
Yeah.
That was still fun. That was interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is our creative challenge?
Creative challenge this time. Can you just riff some shit while I get my plan up again? Because I'm just massively prepared
Okay.
all the time.
If you got trick or treating this year, try and stick to the tricks. Because who wants to eat sweet stuff?
What?
I don't know. Don't tell me improvise, because then I can't improvise.
Excellent improvisation. Okay. For the visual challenge, I thought it'd be cool if you create a unique horror movie character. You know, like your Freddy. What's his face?
Jason.
Yeah. So that kind of thing, or recreate one that you think is fairly weak. So any of them.
Swamp Thing.
Ash wants you to recreate Swamp Thing, so do that. Or whatever you want to do. For the audio challenge, I thought it'd be cool if you do something interesting with the psycho sound effect. Like just play around, play around with that sound effect. I don't know, like use it in some.
Use it
dubstep
to
or
do
something.
a cover of that Ed Sheeran song that I fucking hate.
Which
The
one?
Shape of You.
All right. Yeah, I don't like that one either.
I hate all these songs.
Well, yeah, but specifically, I don't like that one. Because my girlfriend used to work in Subway, and it was on at work, and she came home and she kept playing it and playing it.
Is it
I'm
that
like,
old?
It's not good. Yeah, pretty sure.
I don't know. It might not be that one.
Because you never hear about songs when they first come out anyway. Especially if you don't listen to radio like we do.
I
so.
fucking hate the radio, which is really ironic considering what we're doing right now.
No, but we really like podcasts. We listen to podcasts
Yeah,
all
we
the time.
like podcasts. So
I think the radios just have a really
Recreate-
bad sense of humour.
yeah, recreate a horror monster,
Or create a unique one.
create a new unique one, and try and do something creative with the psycho stab sound.
Yep. And then tweet those at us at UT2cast. And if you don't do that, but you were working on something while listening to this podcast, then we want to see it, because that's why we do this. Also tweet that at us at UT2cast. We also have a website, ut2cast.podbean.com, and I don't think I forgot anything this time.
You know, cue the outro music.
Cue outro.